So in last class we saw all the basics of Java. Okay. So now we are going to the next level. Okay. So
Okay.
before that we need to know, already I taught you the basic of methods, like how methods works. Okay. In
Mm.
each methods, how to we pass the parameter, return type, everything. So
Okay.
now we want to know the basic class and object. Okay. So I'm going to create a new Java class. Here I'm going to teach you class and object. Okay.
Okay.
So here this is the class name. I hope you remember. Okay. So the class name is class object,
And
right?
class.
So the same way, I'm going to create a method here. Listen here. I'm going to create a method like public void show. So this is the method. I'm making little bigger. You're able to see. So
Mm.
this is the method. Okay. And here the variable name is I'm providing like int a equal to 20. Okay. Suppose you want to access this variable in here means this is the property of this class, the a is. So if you want to access any method or a variable of a class, we need to create an object.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to create an object. So how to create that means we need to provide the class name and object name, like we call this instance. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm going to like one class like obj
Zero.
obj equal to new class name.
Okay.
So what are things? Class name, user defined object name equal to new class name.
Class.
Okay. So when I put object dot, see you are able to see the a variable. It's
Okay.
a integer because I stored the int a. Okay, and you are able to see the show as well because show also property of this class. It's a void.
Okay.
It's a void method. Okay, so in SOT, I'm simply saying object dot a. So what will happen? This will fetch the a value. Okay, so this is the way the class and object works. We can create n number of object for a class. Okay, and class is a blueprint actually. Okay, it doesn't have any values until you create a object. Okay, it won't run anything until you create object means it will create a new instance and it will start working. Okay. So here only I'm going to teach you another topic called constructor. We want to know this one. Okay, constructor. So this generally it will come on the interview as well. Okay. So there is always a default constructor is there. Default constructor, default one. So see here, this is a class, but I put a method symbol. What's the method symbol? Circle bracket. Okay. That means there is a backend. There is always a default constructor is there every time. Even we are creating or not creating, this always default constructor automatically creates. First of all, what are the points you want to know means constructor is a method. Okay, it's a method, so it has defaultly available even we creating or not. Then here we didn't call the constructor. Okay, so constructor call itself, we don't need to call. Whenever you creating an instance, when you create a object or we call as an instance, automatically the default constructor will invoke. You can ask, can't we create a constructor? You can create. So constructor, what is the first condition for constructor? Constructor as a same as class name.
Class name. Okay.
Okay, so what is the class name? Object. Class object. That is my constructor name. Okay, now this is the previously constructor. Now this is I created. So what is the condition? It should be a same as class name. Okay, what is the other point? It always, it won't return anything. So that means what it is? It is always a void.
Void.
Okay, so that's why we didn't mention anything like public void something. Okay, because always it's a void.
Void.
Okay. Suppose take an example. I didn't provide any value. Only int a is there. Okay. So whomever is creating the object, I am telling like keep the a value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give int a, and so this value is given value, given a denominators. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will pause this. See here it is error, it's throwing an error. Why? Because now I created a parameter constructor, because my constructor has a parameter. That means I also need to pass the parameter when I'm calling the constructor. So what is the type of parameter? It's an integer. So I want to pass some integer value. So right now I'm giving a 5. Okay, so what will happen for this obj? What is the a value? 5. Suppose I'm creating another object. Take an example. This is object number 2. For this I am putting 20. So if I'm running this again, so for this value what it will print? It will print the value as 5, because for this obj the a value is 5, but for this a value is 20. Okay, so now none of things won't work. Why? Because we don't have main method. Without the main method it won't run anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do main method right now. In the main method, what I want to do, I want to call the show method. So I cannot directly call the show method. What I want to do, I want to create a object,
then call
the
show
obj dot show
show.
method.
Okay.
Okay, so this show method what will do, it will give you the 5, it will go here, it will call the method here, it will create another object called obj. This obj has value of show, but this obj is as inside this method only, not outside the method. This obj life is ended here, this obj life will start here. Okay, so this is the way we need to do the constructor. So right now we are, what are things we study? Constructor is a method, it is already, it's created defaultly, and it will call itself whenever I'm creating the object. Okay, here I want to change object to, and it has always a same as name as class name. Then it won't return anything because it's void always, and it is parameter constructor. Basically constructor, what is the use of constructor? Main thing, to initialize the variable values of that class. Okay, so that is the only use of constructor in most other times. Okay, cool. Then next, now we go to the OOP concept. That is the class we are going to start today. Okay, so whenever you're going to study OOP concept, always studies with an example. Okay, don't study theoretical alone, it will get confused while explaining to anyone. Okay, let's start a simple constructor, simple OOP concept. So most simpler concept is encapsulation, because that is a most it won't depend anything. Okay, so for that I'm going to create a one class. I'm naming the class as bank. Listen carefully, I have a class as bank. Okay, so in this bank I have one property. The property is like a double value, it's a balance. So bank has some balance, so I don't want to show to anyone. Okay, I don't want to show to anyone. So how to prevent? So which is the highest secured private access modifier is private. Okay, so private is the most secure access modifier compared to with all the 4 access modifiers. So I name it as private. So if I provide as a private means, other than this class, none other class don't have access to access it, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so that, but then how we can use it? So that's the encapsulation description. So encapsulation is nothing, it's simply wrapping the value like variable and giving the access through methods. Okay, so let's create a method. So I'll create a couple of methods. One method is public. Suppose you want to add balance, right? I'm going to like public add balance. Okay, so whenever you sending some double value, like when whenever you send double value balance, what is your task? This is a void method, it won't do anything. Public void. So what it will do, this is the given balance. Okay, given balance. So what I want to do, simply I want to update my balance every time whenever I call this method. Like, take an example, someone is putting money, so I will call this method. Next one is someone has wants some money. Okay, so for that what you do, public get, because you want to get something. Suppose you want to know what is the current balance, get current balance. So how to know that the current balance? You want to return the balance. Return means double, because you want to return the value of balance.
Double. Okay.
Because that's what we want to give, double, because balance is a double return type. So what this will do, this will give the current balance. Suppose you want to withdraw, public void withdraw. Okay, so you're saying some money, double given money. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to balance equal to balance minus given money. Okay, so this will reduce the money. Then, so it will update what? It will update the balance. Okay, so this is how it will be. And there is another key we'll call this. So this we want to use to indicate current class. This I'm teaching you this. This is a keyword. So how we studied a keyword called new, right? Previously, new. It's created a new instance. The same way, this indicates the current class. Okay, this. Okay, now I'm creating another class. So this class is user. Take an example, user. Okay, so this user having a main method. So he is want to deposit some money in the bank. Okay, so for that he is creating a bank object. See here, bank 1 equal to new bank. Okay, he is creating such a way. Okay, now he want to know the balance. So how to get it? Bank dot get current balance. Suppose you want to deposit something, means bank dot one dot add balance. So he is telling add me 10,000 or something, or 1,000. Okay, now again I am getting the current balance. Then I am withdrawing the money. So withdraw 500. Okay, again get the balance. Okay. See here clearly. So I am running this user.main. So previously the value is 0. Okay. After that adding 1,000, the balance is 1,000. I got a withdrawal of 500, so remaining is 500. So see here, right? So how one bank process, which is real time, which is using the private variable, but I cannot directly access the balance. If you see bank dot, this balance is coming, no, only through method you can access the private variable, not direct. That's the use of private, and that is the use case of encapsulation. Okay, so now I hope that I cleared those basic doubts. Okay. Next one, we are going to see the abstract. So basically what is the use of abstract means, suppose you are creating a framework, like take an example, you are creating a one new bike. So you have every bike has some blueprint, like how to, what are things mandatory, like how the tire of the engine, how the everything. So we are creating all the methods, but each bike company have different way of implementation. Okay, so the abstract is the blueprint. It only have the non-implemented methods. Okay, so who are creating the bike which is using this blueprint, they can provide the body for the skeleton. So before going to the, I'm going to explain you clearly. Okay, so I'm going to create a right click listen carefully. Right click new Java, but here not a Java class. Okay, so what I'm
Okay.
going to do here, I want to select class interface, right? This is a class, but we want to use the kind of interface. Okay,
Interface.
so you can ask what is the difference between interface and abstract means. Abstract is has both the implementation of class and abstract, but interface is the 100% abstract. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm selecting the interface. Okay, let's give the value as, otherwise let's wait. I've set abstract. This is the car. Okay, so how to make a one class to abstract class means I will teach you. So right now this is a normal class. Okay, so I'm going to create a method, public void engine start. So this is the method, but see here, I didn't provide the body for this method. I'm putting semicolon, so it is throwing an error. What error? Yes, see here, you didn't give any method body, missing the method body, or declare as abstract. So what I'm going to do, I'm just copying this abstract keyword public. So
Abstract word. Okay.
okay, so after adding also it's throwing an error. Okay, so why? See, always read the command properly. Abstract method in non-abstract class. So if a class contains one abstract method, that class is considered as a abstract class. See here, when I add abstract in the class, this class become a abstract class.
That's
Okay,
okay.
and you want to understand more, abstract class contains both. So now I'm writing public void show. No, like I'm writing simple SOT show. See, this abstract as abstract method and as well as normal method.
Regular defined method. Okay.
So now this here, up to this we can stop the abstract. Now we are going to study the one topic called inheritance. Okay, because if you want to study abstract means you want to know basic of the interface. Okay, right now I'm creating one new Java class. This is a simple class. So this class name is, I'm like saying like Yamaha. Okay, so the some brand is starting. So this brand want to use the skeleton, like this blueprint of this car. Okay, so for that what they doing, they want the property. So how to inherit, we need to use the extends keyword. Extends keyword, what is the external class? Car. So here car is act as a parent. Okay, Yamaha is a child.
Child. Okay.
Child. So now it's throwing an error. Why? See here, class Yamaha must either be declare the abstract method or implement the abstract method. This one, you become abstract or implement the abstract method which is available in the car method. So I am saying implemented method. So that's the only one method. I am just clicking on OK. See this, the override method. So which method? Here in the car I don't have any body,
Okay.
so that method. But you can ask, in car there are two methods, why this method didn't come? It won't want to come because already it has the implementation.
Okay.
Only engine starters don't have implementation. Okay, so for right now I can write anything. I can create my own Yamaha feature. Okay, this is Yamaha engine. Suppose I'm creating another class. This class, it has Honda, like take an example Honda. So this guy also implementing the car main. So again he is also need to implement that item. Here I am telling like this is Honda engine. See here, the car is a blueprint, but whomever is implementing, they need to follow the instruction, like how. Okay, so tomorrow I am coming here and adding engine of one method. Or see this, there are two problems created. One is this guy didn't have that method, so he need to implement the new.
Another method. Okay.
So now you are able to see, right? So how like this makes the restrictions how useful. Okay, in the framework also this is the way it works. So
Okay.
you cannot ask all your developers to follow instruction. You cannot able to monitor. So you create a one abstract or interface structure and ask them to follow the same pattern. Means obviously everyone need to implement that method. Like how the launch of the browser should happen. What are the methods should have. After the first method, what they want to do. So everything will be comes automatically, so you don't need to monitor this. Your setup of framework will monitor everything. Okay,
Okay.
so now we studied about inheritance as well as
Ups.
abstract.
Okay.
So this also same like like interface also is kind of hoops concept, but in interface you cannot give a dummy method. You should definitely give a all or abstract method. So interface is a 100% abstract.
Abstract.
Okay. And in interface all are public. There is no
Okay.
other access modifiers. Only all are public. Okay. The last oops concept we are going to see is a polymorphism. So polymorphism is the only thing which inside the code we use lot. Okay. Interface also, like inheritance is goes in top. Abstract is always in one time. But this polymorphism we will do in every places. Okay. So in polymorphism there are two types of polymorphism. Let's create a new class called polymorphism demo. Okay. Polymorphism have two types. Okay.
Two types.
One is runtime, another one is compile time. Okay, compile time and runtime. Okay, so compile time is before that you want to understand what is compile means. When you're writing a code itself, it will verify your code. So compile, it will automatically compile. So in C and L, what we'll do, we'll do compile one time and we'll do execute one time. But Java, it automatically compiles the code. Okay.
Okay.
So while writing the code itself, it will identify it means that's a compile. So for the compile time, we have overload. For runtime, we have override.
Right. Okay.
Already we studied this one just now before, but I will give you the overview again. Okay, but we don't see that extensively. So overloader, suppose I have public void, it's the add method. Take an example, it's add method. So you don't have any parameter. Okay. I am writing another method with the same name. What will happen? It will throw an error because in Java we can't use the same name twice.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, inside that I'm going to write int a. Now
Parameter. It's considered as a different method.
it's different. Okay. Again, I'm giving int. Here I'm giving character. Okay. So now you can understand one is we can give a same name if it is empty. And if both are have a single parameter, but we have different data types. So now we can follow three things. One is difference between empty, count, and data types. All are has been matchable in the overload. Okay.
Overload.
So when this overload makes sense means by calling. Okay. Let's take an example. I am creating a main method. In the main method, I am creating a object for this class. Obj equal to new class name. When you write obj dot means, see this, there are three methods. One is add a method with empty, add method with integer, add method with. So if I pass character means it will call the third method.
Okay.
If I call the number means, if I send a number means it will call the this one. If I send as empty means this will call as this method.
This one.
So now we
Okay.
understand, right, how this is the way it will design. Okay, you didn't say which one to call. Based upon your parameter passing, system while compile time it is overloading. Overloading means the same name we keep on overloading. That's called overload, and it will do compile time itself. Suppose I'm giving slab 5 6. See this error because there is no two parameter structure in anywhere.
Yeah,
Only we
right.
have only. So that's an error. Okay. See this is a compile time. Compile time itself system will identify that importance. Okay. Next one is a override. So when you see when you're going to create a car, I have this engineer start. But when I implement Yamaha, see this same method I'm using. And
That
what
way
is
over.
happening is overriding. In the same way, I have take an example. My parent has show method. Okay. See here, this is a parent show. Okay. In Yamaha as a child actually, this method also take an example as a show method. So this is a child show. Okay. So here I am creating the main method. Main. So I am creating an object for Yamaha. Here you want to listen carefully. This is obj equal to new Yamaha, and obj dot show means who I am calling. I am calling this method. Even though my parent have a show method, what I am doing, I am overriding my parent. Okay, so this called over no. But you can ask that how can I ask, how can I call the my parent show? So that for that we can use the super keyword. Okay, super, super. Okay, so let's super dot show. Okay, and I don't use inside the main method because of the static. That's what I show here. Super dot show. So now I can call the parent method. So previously I
Parent
taught you
method.
one keyword. What keyword? This keyword. That is same class, current class. Super is parent class.
Parent class.
But there only you want to understand the logic here.
Okay. Okay. This is okay.
Okay, next one. So this now you understand, right? Basic of the OOF concept.
Yeah.
And whenever you're studying the OOF concept, try to with the example you will feel the difference. Okay.
Which one
Generally,
we use mostly in any programming?
all four on to all four which is useful. Inheritance is
Oh,
most useful, but coding is less.
inherit.
But the inheritance coding is less actually. But you want
Okay.
to while you studying, you can just study the advantage of each one. Okay. If we study the advantage of inheritance, what are the things? One is code reusable, right? We are using the same code. If I creating one place means all my child reusability. The next one is maintenance. Because tomorrow I don't want to fix in anywhere. Simply if I fix in the source code, whomever is referring the object, they can automatically update. So maintenance. So reusability and maintenance. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next one, we can move to exception handling. So before that, we want to know the exception. So exception is two types. One is error, another one is exception. Okay. So in exception, error is something. I suppose take an example. Here I forgot this one. This is the error. Or suppose my system is not doing having a proper memory. That's the error. Okay. This and all we cannot do anything in the code. So the exception is something in the code can get fixed. Okay. So for that I'm going to create a one class. The name it is exception demo. So let's take that exception. So I'm going to create a public void test. Okay, some method, random method. Right. A little maximize. Okay. So in this test method, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to write int c equal to 4 divided by 0. Okay, then I'm printing the c value. So when I right click, but it won't run. So we need a, let's make this as a main method. Okay, now I'm running this file. So it's throwing what? Arithmetic exception.
Exception. Okay.
Okay, I maximize it. This is arithmetic exception because we cannot divide anything from 0.
0, right.
And here, what is the output I want to print? The value of c. So this code didn't execute. Which line it start? See here. This is my class name.java on line number 5. So this is the way. Like the code will always get stuck where the exception occurs. But in real time, we want to move to the next step. Okay. So this is the runtime exception. Okay. So next one is the compile time exception will happen. Okay. That is, suppose I'm doing a mistake in in. So this is an error, the exception actually. So this is compile time itself, I got the error. See here, see this is an error. So fix it. So compile time itself I got it. But here, see, this is any error here? No. All are looks good, but I am getting the exception while running my code.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the exception types.
Runtime exception.
So, but what are the other runtime exception means? Suppose if we are adding any technical issues, location not found. So this kind of things are kind of exceptions. Okay. These are runtime. Okay. Now compile time expression. What is the compile time means? Suppose I'm reading a file. Okay. So but system will give you the exception. What means? See here, you are reading a file. At any cost, the file may corrupt, the file may vanish. So you will get a failure. So for that, to safeguard, add some file not found exception or IO input out exception. Okay, that's the compile time. Okay. So before this, we need to know how to handle the exception. To handle the exception, there are 3 types. One is throws. Next one is throw. Next one is try catch. Okay. This both are things that will send it. It won't handle. It will send it to whom are calling. Okay. Suppose example, I am writing, see here clearly, public void test. In the test, I am keeping this 2 lines clearly. Okay. See here, I am having this 3 lines in here, 2 lines in here. So in the main method, what I am going to do, I am going to create an object simply here, obj equal to new obj. Now I want to call the test method. So see here, the code is in where? In the test section, test method. Who is calling? Main method. Both are different fellows. Okay. So when I'm going to run, see there are 2 time exception. One is 6th line in main, same 14th line in test. Okay. So the where is issue happen? On 14th line. Okay. So now I don't want to handle the exception. Okay. I want to throw my exception. Who is calling me? Okay. So for that we want to use throws, and you want to, if you know the exception type means, you can tell the exception type. Throws automatic exception. Now I'm running again. see here what has happened. This exception, throw the exception to whom it's calling. Okay, previously which one is came here? First is 6, then 14. Now here it's gotten in the 14th line, it's thrown to the 6. Okay, this is also not handling, it is sending to someone who is calling. Okay,
Okay.
so what is the other type of exception means? And you got the message, the same message. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to tell here I didn't do anything, just throw arithmetic exception. In the arithmetic exception, like it's a failure. Okay, then I want to throw. See here, when I'm going to run this, first of all it won't run. Okay? So always keep this the last line. Throw arithmetic exception. So see this the message what I'm writing. When I run this, see here, previously there's a previously different one came. What different one? Divide by 0. But see the
0.
message here. So this
It's a
throw is a customized exception. Okay,
Customized.
it will customize your, you can customize your exception whenever you need, but we won't recommend to write this kind of code, but you want to know what is the use of throw. So throw is used to write a customized exception as we required. Wherever I give this line, even though there is no exception, this will create the exception and send it, because it's I'm creating my own. Okay, so these are things are this two, but this both are not handling. They're only sending to the main method. Okay. But in real time we need to handle. Okay, that's the main use. So what I'm going to do, I'm removing this both the questions. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a try. In try I'm telling, see here, try this code. If it is working fine means fine. But in case if you felt any problem, okay, just catch. See here, catch. So this will catch. So for understanding we need to print. Okay, get message. Okay, it will print. So I'm running this one. Previously everything is kind of a red, right? Right now if you see any red,
Okay.
no,
Mm.
I didn't see any red,
What is the type? Okay.
because I handled the exception.
Mm.
So throws and throws, what will do, even though it comes under the exception, it will send the exception who is calling. It won't, it didn't solve it. It didn't, it will throws, but only try catch has the capability to handle the exception, like solve that place. Okay, and here I'm going to teach you another call finally. So what is use of finally? If it's exception happening or not, something need to be executed in your code. So that kind of things you want to keep in the finally block. So try is one block, catch is one block, and finally is the one block. So this is the interview I will ask what is finally. See here, even though exception occurred, the show is still printing. Okay,
Okay.
so that's the finally. What is the other keyword I will teach you means final. Take an example. Final int a equal to 30 means. So what is this final means? Constant. You cannot change the a value hereafter ever. So like it's a constant final keyword. Finally is used in try catch. That's the difference. What they will ask different, tell me different of final, finally. Even finally is there, I never used it. Even I forgot it. Okay. Two keywords. One is final, another is finally.
Finally.
Okay. So now we covered the exception handlings, OOP concepts and basic things. Okay. So let's wind up here today. Okay. So there is another topic called collections. But right now we don't want to put collection also in here. We'll skip in the next class. In tomorrow's class, we are going to finish the Java to tomorrow itself, and on the same day we are going to start the Selenium because collection it takes only 30 minutes. Okay, so next 30 minutes we'll do the Selenium setup and starting the Selenium. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Okay, so if your interviews came up, ma'am.
Not for this. I'm still waiting for the call.
Okay, no issues, ma'am. Then before Saturday, Sunday, we will wind up as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Tomorrow we'll connect similarly 11 o'clock right now.
11 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am. And you can see the YouTube video after. It will take another 30 minutes to upload, but you can see the yesterday's video in the YouTube. Okay.
Okay, I'll check
You
that.
can simply go to the channel under the playlist. You can see 10 days Java Selenium. So there you can see the day one. So today I will post the day two video.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I'll check that.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you.